Right now on KCAL 9 News at 2 Investors. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Sigell.
And I'm Suzie Suh. Dave and Sandra have the day off. Our top story here at 2 o'clock. The Dow Jones rallied today to close up more than 400 points. The rally followed the Federal Reserve's announcement that it will likely keep its key interest rate at a record low for 2 more years.
Well, a prayer service was just held at the Crystal Cathedral for 3 women who died after leaving the church last night. Now,
a stowaway suspect arrested in Los Angeles has agreed to a plea deal with federal prosecutors.
A Redlands man is behind bars this afternoon. He's accused of abducting and molesting a little girl from his neighborhood.
Polygamist leader Warren Jeffs was sentenced to life in prison today for sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl.
Well, a battle over redistricting kicked into high gear at the LA County Board of Supervisors meeting.
Clouds right now. Sunny skies, I should say, right now, as we just saw in that video. But it was another cloudy start to the workday.
Yeah, not too bad in the temps, though. Yeah. And we may be in store for maybe a little more of a warm-up this weekend.
Hopefully. Look forward to that, Rich. Thank you so much. Well, the remains of 30 Americans killed in Afghanistan are back in the U.S. today. They were brought to Dover Air Force Base, where the president met with family members. KCAL 9's Danielle Nottingham reports burials will have to wait until military forensic procedures are done.
More than 500 people have now been arrested in London after 3 days of rioting. Police are monitoring Twitter and warn that anyone who incites violence could be arrested as well. Well, despite today's happy ending on the stock market, millions of Americans remain unemployed. Well, whether you're a big-time investor or just a wage earner worried about your nest egg, everybody is talking about the stock market.
Of course, diversification may be the best strategy. Here to talk about that is our friend Casey Mervine, a financial consultant with Charles Schwab. And Casey, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's get right to it. Credit rating. What are we looking at?
You know, what is going through all of our minds? What's happening? You know, what we see, and what should we be doing?
Absolutely. I think we all need to.
For everybody, so we certainly need that advice.
Breathe, relax.
Yes. Breathe, relax.
Yeah,
we can do that.
Thank you very much, Casey.
Well, thank you. Well, civility gone at work? The struggling.
Ahead on KCAL 9 News at 3 o'clock, a top-selling pop singer is beaten down in the street, and that's not even the worst of it. Plus, well, if you dread going to work, that doesn't include us.
No.
You're not alone. A new survey finds work is more stressful than it used to be.
Yeah, it's partly due to layoffs and some cutbacks. KCAL 9's Chris Raggy reports the result is a lot more rudeness in the workplace. Well, I'm going to say thank you to everyone I work with. There you go. Well, that study focused on about 300 workers at 3 companies in the Midwest. The findings were presented last weekend at the American Psychological Association's annual meeting.
All right. Well, swimmer Diana Nyad was forced to give up her attempt to become the first person to swim from Cuba to Florida without a shark cage.
Call her a rock star.
She is. She's awesome. Who would attempt something like that? I couldn't.
I would
in a million years.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try.
Well, a mystery at one of our local beaches.
Yeah, a boat washes. A search is underway for anyone who might have been in a small boat found capsized near Palos Verdes Estates. Well,
you may recall we first brought you the story of the teenager who was nearly buried alive in the sand and showed you the dramatic rescue as well. Well, today that teen was reunited with the firefighters who rescued him.
Well, we may not have an NFL team, but it looks like we'll have a place for them to play if they get there. LA City leaders are backing a plan to build a $1.2 billion stadium. The agreement with developer Anschutz Entertainment Group also includes a new city convention hall and 2 parking structures. Well, on this warm August day, hundreds of kids are on the ice. It's all part of the LA Kings Kids Camp.
They just grew in, and now they're going to knock them out with hockey.
You love hockey?
Yeah, no
I like hockey. I understand girls like it for the fights, right?
Not me.
The fights?
The nosebleeds I can do without.
No.
Yeah, the fanfare,
it's just kind of fun. Lots of action.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you said it was a warm August day, and we're not even to 80 degrees yet. So
I was just going to say, probably nice to be inside the hockey rink or outside because it's about the same temperature, probably.
Yeah, I mean, just the shot.
Okay, Rich, thanks so much. A nationwide manhunt is underway this afternoon for 3 siblings accused of going on a crime spree.
Well, there are some amazing stories of hope coming out of the desperation in the Horn of Africa. Up next, you're going to meet
at the top of the hour why your cell phone may not work today. Also, dramatic news. Those stories and all your late-breaking news ahead on KCAL 9 News at 3.
The devastating drought in Africa has displaced hundreds of thousands of families. Many of them have sought food and shelter at refugee camps.
Yeah, the humanitarian. That was Erica Hill reporting. We have just learned today the World Food Program is sending 800 metric tons of high-energy biscuits to Africa. That's enough food to feed more than 1.5 million people for an entire day.
Well, if you were in here, you would smell. It smells pretty good in here.
Smell-o-vision in here.
Right. Up next, the secret to great home-cooked meals.
We'll be right back. Hey, look at us. We're in the kitchen today. We're actually getting practical cooking tips from a world-class chef.
Chef Marco Pierre-White is here with us today to share some.
And today, Chef, you are going to show us a very gourmet meal that can be made very quickly, rather quickly.
Yep.
And I'm guessing on a budget.
Well, when you cook at home, you've got to keep it very simple. But the heart of every kitchen is a stock. And without a great stock, it's difficult to cook well.
That's true.
You can't make a soup. You can't make a stew. I use at home is a very simple stock. It's an all home-style stock.
What kind of
little
stock is
tubs.
that?
This is chicken. It's very clever.
Chicken.
It's the closest you'll ever get to a professional stock in the kitchen,
Wow.
in my
Because
opinion.
it could take forever to do a stock. I mean, how?
Well, if you're going to make a stock at home, it's going to take 4 hours chicken stock.
Yeah.
And you need a big pan, lots of carcasses. Something like this is made for you. It's concentrated, so you can dilute it.
Yeah, and it's
You
very
don't have to-
small packet, yeah.
You don't have to dilute it with water. So if I'm braising pork, I'll dilute it with apple cider. So I'm putting lots of flavour in. If I'm making risotto, I'll do it with water.
Now, risotto
It's becoming rather creamy.
smells amazing.
And then when it cooks out, absorbs a little bit more. Just keep on feeding the stock into it.
Now I'm looking at all of these things over here you've got, and is this how to make a perfect dish? Because we want to show somebody how to make this lovely recipe at home.
Well, the easy way is you cook your onions in the butter.
Okay.
Add your rice.
Okay.
Mix it in. Deglass with a bit of white wine. Cook out the white wine, get rid of the acidity. Then feed your stock in little by little. And then when it comes to finishing, a little butter, a little parmesan, allow that to melt across the surface, then work it in so it becomes very creamy. And if you don't like parmesan or butter, a tiny bit of mascarpone is very clever. It's
And
very
Chef,
good.
how long would you say this process takes total?
This risotto from start to finish, 20 minutes.
That's not bad.
That's not bad
But
at
depending
all.
on your rice. Some rice will say on the back of the packet 16, some will say
Classes. You just had that desire from the beginning.
Well, I was born into a very humble world.
Incredibly well. What is next for you?
Is, you know, if I'm very honest, I don't cook full time anymore. I do a few shows, I do this, I do that. But if I'm
You know, a working mother out there, because I think that's the biggest struggle. I was actually doing a story yesterday about a mother who juggles kids and 2 careers, and
Right.
you know, to make a risotto at night. I mean, this looks very simple, but you know, I don't know how simple it is.
It is simple.
What was your advice to people like that?
The first thing I would advise anybody in the kitchen is
I am completely inspired. Thank you so
see
much.
that.
And you know
You're
what?
very-
I'm going to eat that. No, I will. I'm going to cook tonight. And to learn more about Chef Marco Pierre-White, you would all be just
smells
wanting to eat right now.
incredible. All right, we'll be right back.
I can help
amazing.
you. I can.
Delicious.
An unusual pair of wedding crashers made a New Mexico couple's nuptials unforgettable. Great story to tell about their wedding. Well, I'm Lisa Sigell. Thanks for watching. The News at 3 starts right now. It has taken decades for all this research for skills to become a reality, but now that this web-based program is here, it really is such a useful tool for parents and teachers. If you're a parent, you can work with your child at home and even chart